Hello everyone, this is Abhurva, a legal intern in Lexley Company. For today, I'm going to be talking about organized crimes and the laws against them in India. So, organized crimes is defined as those involved normally working with others in continuing serious criminal activities for substantial profit elsewhere. So, organized criminals that work together for the duration of a particular criminal activity or activities are what we call an organized crime group. So, organized crime group structures vary. Successful organized crime groups often consist of a durable core of key individuals. Around them, there's a cluster of subordinates, specialists, and other more transient members, plus an extended network of disposable associates. So, many groups are in practice loose networks of criminals that come together for the duration of a criminal activity, acting in different roles depending on their skills and expertise. So the collaboration is reinforced by shared experiences such as prison or a recommendation from a trusted individuals. Others are bonded by family or ethnic ties. So some crime families are precisely that. So organized criminals make use of specialists who provide a service sometimes to a range of crime gangs. So services include transport, money laundering, debt enforcement, or the provision of false documentation. Um, Now, let me tell you about the legal position in India on organized crime. So, organized crime has always existed in India in some form or another. It has, however, assumed its virulent form in modern times due to several socio-economic and political factors and advances in science and technology. So, even though rural India is not immune from it, it is essentially an urban phenomenon. So, criminal conspiracy section 120A of the Indian Penal Code defines criminal conspiracy as when two or more persons agree to do or cause to be done an illegal or an illegal act which is not illegal by illegal means. Such an agreement is designated as criminal conspiracy. So provided that no agreement except an agreement to commit an offense shall amount to a criminal conspiracy unless some act besides the agreement is done by one or more parties to such agreement in pursuance thereof, so merely incidental to that object. So section 120B of the Indian Penal Code provides for punishment for criminal conspiracy. So now dacoity and related offences. Dacoity is one of the oldest forms of crimes in India and is committed purely for the purpose of looting or extortion. So section 391 of the Penal Code defines dacoity as when five or more persons conjointly commit or attempt to commit a robbery, or where the whole number of persons conjointly committing or attempting to commit a robbery and persons present and aiding such commission or attempt amount to five or more. Every person is so committing, attempting, or aiding is said to commit dacoity. So in other words, five or more persons commit the offense of robbery, they commit dacoity. Dacoity is punishable with imprisonment for life, rigorous imprisonment up to 10 years and 5 months, section according to section 395. So the criminal is preparation to commit dacoity is given in section 399. So assembly for the purpose of committing dacoity, section 400 of the code criminalizes the act of belonging to a gang of persons associated for the purpose of habitually committing dacoities. So now let me tell you about the law on gangsters. So there is no central legislation to suppress gang activity having countrywide applicability. So the state of Uttar Pradesh most popularly and politically most powerful is enacted Uttar Pradesh Gangsters and Anti-Social Activities Act 1986, which is applicable in that state only. So the gang has been defined as a group of persons who singly or collectively indulge in an anti-national activities by violence or threat of violence for ganging under political, economic, or physical advantages and includes offenses against the body, a bootlegging, a forcible possession of immovable property, creating communal disturbances, obstructing public servants in the discharge of their duties, kidnapping for ransom, diverting an aircraft or public transport vehicle from its scheduled path, etc. and etc. So a gangster is punishable with minimum imprisonment of 2 years, extendable up to 10 years, which is given in section 3. The rules of evidence have been modified and certain statutory presumptions can be raised against the gangsters by the trial court. So provision has also been made for the protection of witnesses. The trial may be held in camera on the request of public prosecutor. So the name and address of a witness can be omitted in the court records if the court so desires. So the property of the gangster can be attached by the district magistrate if satisfied that it was acquired through criminal activity. So this act has a wide canvas or purpose to cover large areas of organized criminal activities. So the other types of organized crimes were drug abuse and drug trafficking, smuggling, kidnapping for ransom, and etc. So that's it for today, everyone. If you like my video, please subscribe to our LexSlick channel and please be updated with our new videos and new live sessions on different drafts, etc. So thank you.